The Georgia Bulldogs and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets are meeting at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium for clean, old-fashioned hate. This game is an in-state rivalry that, I mean, when you call it clean, old-fashioned hate, you know it's something good. Now, I like both Georgia and Georgia Tech. Georgia, not as much, but I do like Georgia Tech quite a bit. And I've covered some of their games. Last year, they went down to the wire multiple overtimes. This game can get nasty real quick. Now, Georgia, number 4 team in the nation, 10-1. Georgia Tech, number 16 team in the nation, 9-2. Makes you wonder something. They're 9-2 and they're only 16th in the nation. Hey, the ACC has been underrated all year long. Georgia Tech has a chance to go into the ACC championship. Georgia has a chance to go to the SEC championship. Going to be played in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the SEC. This game is going to be wild. Why? Because Georgia Tech is trying to prove that they deserve to be in the college football playoff. Georgia, well, Kirby Smart's got national championships. Brent Key is trying to get there, and this year has been a great year for him, other than his losses. And hey, Pitt, I'm not surprised they won. And then throw on top of the fact of NC State at NC State, they've done some weird stuff this year. But Georgia Tech always gets up for the Georgia game. Now, Georgia does lead the series 41-5. Georgia Tech hasn't won it since 2016. It was a 28-27 slog. Last year was 44-42, 8 overtimes. This game can be amazing. Now, when Bobby Dodd was at Georgia Tech, well, guess what? Georgia Tech had a dominance. Now, when you're looking at this, hey, it got wild when it was at each one of their stadiums. They had to move this off site. Georgia seems to instill that in people where they got to move rivalry games off site. This is going to be a wild one. And let me tell you something. They both got teams that could win this game. We're going to go over the stats. We're going to talk about this game. So, if you like college football, if you like college sports, because I don't cover recruiting, don't cover transfer portal unless it's something that I really care about, hit like, hit subscribe. It really helps me out. Doesn't cost you anything. Also, if you don't mind, I also have a Patreon down below. You don't have to do it, but if you want to really help out, I've got a few opportunities coming up. I could use a little help, but if you don't want to, don't worry about it. I got a Patreon and my link tree down below. But let's get into this game.
Hey folks, this is Paul with Redneck Sports. I want to thank you for viewing my video, and I want to give you one thought process. There was a famous coach at the University of Tennessee by the name of General Robert Neyland. He had 6 maxims, but number 2 maxim is what everybody should apply to their life. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That's how to live your life right there.
Now I'm just going to pick one of them at random. I'm going to pick Georgia first. Gunnar Stockton, 220 of 308, 2,465 yards through the air, 71.4 completion rate, 19 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, been sacked 13 times. Not bad. They got 20 touchdowns through the air, 6 interceptions, 15 sacks total. Where are they getting that 15 sacks? Should be 14 sacks if they're going by whatever. Rushing, Nate Frazier, 129 carries, 701 yards, 5 touchdowns, 59-yard long run. Chauncey Bowens, 94 carries, 493 yards, 6 touchdowns. Gunnar Stockton, 88 carries, 361 yards, 8 touchdowns. Bo Walker, 22 for 100, 3 touchdowns. Josh McCray, 35 for 92, 3 touchdowns. They got two other folks that's got touchdowns, so they got 28 touchdowns on the ground. Kirby Smart knows how to get an offense going right. Now, through the air, you got your 20. Zachariah Branch, 63 catches, 638 yards, 3 touchdowns. Colby Young's got 23 catches, got a touchdown. London Humphreys, 18 catches, 276 yards, 3 touchdowns. Noah Thompson, 4 touchdowns on 16 of 254. Lawson Lucky, 13 for 120, 4 touchdowns. They got a few other guys got touchdowns. That's their 20 touchdowns. In other words, very productive offense that somewhat protects their quarterback. Actually does more than somewhat. Now, on defense, they've only got 16 sacks on opposing quarterbacks. They can't get to the opposing quarterback all that often. 37 pass deflections, 7 interceptions, no scores on it. 4 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries. For a team that is 10-1, their defense is a little lackluster. You've seen it. A lot of people can score on them. Only Alabama's been able to win, though, because they've got an offense that takes care of it. C.J. Allen, leading tackler, 78 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 3 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. Raylan Wilson, 61 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 1 pass deflection. K.J. Bolden, 54 tackles, 2 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery. In other words, these guys know what they're doing. Not that great, but they're doing what they need to do to keep themselves in the game the entire way. Now, penalties. It's Georgia. It's the SEC. 48 for 446, 40 yards a game. I'm not even going to go into that rant about SEC refs and how certain teams get a whole lot of help. But Gunnar Stockton has been doing an amazing job. I will give him that. Nate Frazier, for the amount of carries, little under yardage. That kind of makes you worry a little bit if you're a fan. But they've got 28 uh, touchdowns on the ground. Yeah, they're not getting that big a yardage, but they're still doing the work that they need to do. Zachariah Branch doing what he needs to do. In other words, there's a lot of weapons. Gunnar Stockton, RPO type dude. This offense knows what they're doing. It's just their defense that's lackluster. This is not a college football playoff winning. This is not a national championship defense, but their offense, if their defense will stand up, this could be that kind of offense. These guys know what they're doing. And it's hard to get to Gunnar Stockton. But then again, though, if you try to get to him, he can just take off and he can get a few yards and make it worth his while. This is a Kirby Smart Bulldogs team. May not be what you normally get from them, but it's well worth watching and they're dangerous. Now, Brent Key and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Haynes King, 211 of 294, 71.8 completion rate with 2,516 yards through the air. He's thrown 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, only been sacked 8 times. Had a couple of his backups that have thrown in a touchdown, so they got 14 touchdowns through the air, 5 interceptions, only 8 sacks. That's a really good offensive line. But then again, though, Haynes King knows how to get out of the way. Haynes King's also the leading rusher, 168 carries, 883 yards, 15 touchdowns. Malachi Hosley, 84 for 628, 7 touchdowns. Jamal Haynes, 109 carries, 493 yards, 5 touchdowns. A few other guys got other touchdowns. They got 30 touchdowns on the ground. They ground and pound. Through the air, Isaiah Cannon's leading that with 4 touchdowns, 29 to 426, 42-yard long run. But Eric Rivers leading on the yardage, 40 catches, 536 yards, 68-yard long run. Only got 1 touchdown, though. Malik Rutherford, 34 for 391, 3 touchdowns. Dean Patterson and Josh Beatham both have 2 touchdowns. A few other guys got touchdowns. So that's their 14 touchdowns through the air. Little one-sided as to what their offense does, but they can still get you in the air. Now, defensively, they've got 24 sacks on opposing quarterbacks. That means they know what they're doing. They got an offensive and defensive line that are both kind of impressive. Now, slight worry, their offense or their secondary defense taking out the air game. They've got 31 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns from it. Little worrisome. They've got 8 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries. That's also a little worrisome. They can get to the opposing quarterback, somewhat block passes, but little lackluster. Now, Kyle Efford, leading tackler, 68 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble. Clayton Powell-Lee, 61 tackles, 2 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble. E.J. Lightsey, 58 tackles. That's about it. Omar Daniels got 43 tackles, half a sack, 1 interception that he took back 45 yards, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. Penalty wise, they're 66 of 508, 46 yards on the every game or per game. Somewhat disciplined. They haven't got the advantage that Georgia does when it comes to the refs. This is a good team. They've not got the best defense, but they know how to score. Yeah, they could have done better when it came to Pitt. That Pitt game was, but Pitt, I don't like Pat Narduzzi, but Pat Narduzzi knows how to put a defense up. NC State, well, NC State's just one of those teams that just decides, hey, we're going to do whatever we can, whenever we can, and they take advantage of things. Brent Key's still got a dangerous team. Haynes King, if he's not being considered for the Heisman, it's a joke because Haynes King has done a lot of miraculous things there. Got an offensive line that is in sync with them. Got a run game going on there that is unbelievable. This is a really good team for Georgia Tech lately. What Brent Key has done there, let me tell you something. You don't need to go to sleep on them at all because they are willing to do what it takes to win a game without causing problems. This isn't like some of these other games you've seen out there. This is a team that knows what they're doing, with the coach that knows what they're doing, and they're only getting better. Now, clean old fashioned hate. When you're looking at this game, yes, Georgia should win this game, but their defense is so shaky. I'll be honest with you. I can see this being another multiple overtime game. I can see Georgia Tech winning this game. Kirby Smart, though, doesn't like losing. He's wanting to go to the college football playoff. He is wanting to fix what happened last year. He wants another national title. Brent Key, though, knows what this Georgia Tech game means. He knows what clean old fashioned hate means at this point. Last year, they gave a lot of problems to this Georgia team. Georgia doesn't need this to get into the college football playoff. They just need to make it to the SEC championship, and they could do it. I'm looking at this game, and I'm going, you know what? I want to see how this game goes. I'm not going to call this game. Why? Because Georgia Tech plays this game at a high level. No matter where they are wanting this game. Let me tell you something. This is a game to watch. It's no joking around. It is pure pounded down your throat football. And it is a kind of game that you can enjoy. So, tune into this game because I will tell you something. Yeah, Georgia leads it and will most likely win this game, but don't count out Georgia Tech at any point. This has been Paul with the Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.
I want to thank you for watching my video. And if you like what you saw, like, subscribe, and comment. Y'all have a good day now.